you so much for being here today. This is another workshop for our Intellectual Wellness Month. We are doing a subject called Come to Learn, and today it's all about come to learn about house plants. This is something that has been requested by many of our participants on how we can keep our houseplants thriving and growing, and for myself, just keeping them alive, really. So we have some great presenters with us here today. Before we jump into the presentation, I am putting the sign-in link in the chat box so that you can get your healthy lifestyle points. But Carla, I'll have you take over and have you both introduce yourselves.
Well, thank you so much. My name is Carla Mendez, and I am working towards my Master Gardener program with the Utah State University and the Salt Lake County Extension. I actually work with DD Advantage in a early intervention program, and I'm obsessed with plants. I never had this obsession before until recently, so that's why I did the program. And the more I learn, the more I enjoy, and sharing the information, I enjoy that too. I also have my co-host, and maybe you can introduce yourself because I always have a hard time saying your name. And yeah.
Sure. My name's Pei Zhongcai, and I'm a 2018 Master Garden graduate. I'm pretty passionate about the plant. I didn't know anything about gardening until I was moved into my current house 14 years ago, and really learned how to take care of the lawn, the fruit tree that comes with the house, and started my own vegetable garden. And so um, I'm taking any opportunity to learn, and plants are just amazing. And it's so great to working with them, especially for the last 2 years. Like we kind of have very limited on what we could do. So I'm looking forward to this opportunity and really excited to learn about the house plants from uh, Carla as well. Over, back to you.
Yes, well, thank you. I mean, I kind of wanted to know a little bit who is here, with where you're coming from. I know that we're working with the Salt Lake County, but I kind of wanted to know um, you guys. So can you tell us a little bit, like someone volunteers and let us know where you work and what do you do and what interested you to come to this workshop?
I'm Jean, started work as a sud C at the Salt Lake County Jail. I kill house plants, and that's what I do. Trying to be a better mother to them. That's it.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Jean. And I believe Victoria also mentioned something, and
Yeah,
Mike.
Victoria is from the health department, and she said, I love plants around the house, but I can't stop killing them. We have Nisa with the library. Love houseplants and mostly keep them alive. Some of them end up not surviving. Julie with health admin is interested in how to keep hers alive as well. And then Angelo, just interested in learning more about the care for plants.
Yeah, well, definitely we're here to learn. And I guess it goes right into this. Has this happened to you? Like the plants in your house always die, but the plants outside, like even in the concrete, they are alive. I mean, you can see it over here. Or like sometimes the plants outside, like again, they love concrete, and depending on the plant, you kill it. I mean, these are some memes that I found online, and I relate to them because it has happened to me in the past. I mean, I still to this day, I'm not perfect, but I believe that having plants, or any plant, I guess, taking care of them, it's a learning curve. So we're going to learn a little bit more about that. So what are we expecting today from our presentation? We're going to be learning a little bit about plant anatomy, photosynthesis and respiration, the plant needs, example of plants according to their needs in lights, understanding a little bit about fertilizers, plant containers, the growing matter, and a little bit of watering. The reason I decided to do it this way is because it gives us a little bit of understanding how plants work and how we can be successful in having the plants at home. At any point, if you have questions, please put them in the chat. And if the question relating to what we're talking, you're more than welcome to interrupt me and let me know. Otherwise, we can review the questions at the end of the presentation. So plant anatomy. So what do we have in the plant? So we have the root, which is where the nutrients come, where the plant gets the nutrients. And I will say that the root is the most important aspect of the plant. I'm not saying that everything is not, but if anything, we need to be taking care of the root. That will predict a lot of the needs for the plant. It will help the plant grow, and it also helps support the plant. We also have the stem, which is the structure that keeps the plant upright. The leaves is where a lot of the respiration passes, like happens. And we also have the flowers, which is the reproductive system of the plant, and the fruits, which is the offspring and where the seeds are in. Um, so let's see. So what is photosynthesis? So it's usually when the plant usually like needs carbon dioxide, and it transforms into oxygen. It requires a little bit of glucose, and waters and minerals are taken also in the plant. And this is kind of like what the process is. And respiration, it's kind of like the opposite. Like it needs oxygen and it leaves carbon dioxide the plant, and it also leaves a little bit of glucose, minerals, and water too. It's needed. So the reason why I mentioned this is important, this will predict how the plant lives, or how the plant, whether it will survive, it will not survive, or will grow. So over here, if we had the same rate for photosynthesis and respiration, there will be no growth in the plant. If the photosynthesis is less than the respiration, the plant will slowly decline to death. So most of the time, this is what happens when a plant dies. And if we want a plant to have better health, the photosynthesis has to be greater, or the rate has to be greater in order for greater from the respiration, in order for it to grow food, storage, roots, flowers, etc. But the lighting needs. The light is the basic ingredient for a plant to live, both in and out. The light helps the plant do the photosynthesis. So interior or indoor plants respond to light brightness or intensity, and it depends on the day and the light quality. Plants that grow, so plants, in order for us to like help or have healthy plants, we need to have a close environment of where they're naturally from. So if we have plants that are taller and leggier in the stem, it's because we're not providing them enough light, and usually that's how they die. If we have, or we know that we have a healthy plant, they are vigorous, they have sturdy stem, and they have beautiful colors, and you can see the blooms going on. So one of the things that I found really important or helpful, I guess, is this picture. It kind of gives us a little bit of information regarding the plant's position within our house. So usually I have this little notes or letters here. Those are the cardinal points that will help us understand a little bit where in the house, or how to direct ourselves in the house. If we have plants that need a lot of light, we actually want to put them close to the south facing window, or closer to the window, within 5 feet of the window, so they have enough light. The bright indirect light will be on the east side. And you can see them over here that they can still get a little bit of light, but it's not as intense, so you won't kill the plant. Medium light, again, it will be probably about 10 feet from the window, either south facing or east facing. And low lights will be pretty much on the north side of the house, um, and it also will be like kind of close to that area in the house. And usually little to no light, from they will be pretty much in the shade. Usually, the only ones that, yeah, we I don't know. I feel like this was helpful. I don't know if anyone has questions regarding this, but I feel like this is a very important way for us to like understand a little bit where to place them in the house, um, because all the plants need light. Otherwise, they will die. Then I have a little bit of information regarding the plant needs and some of the different plants, um, and the lighting needs. Like a bright light plant usually will be aloe veras, yucca plant, jade. Um, I have some examples here. A medium light, oops, I'm sorry, will be spider plants, figs, prayer plants, and low light, where it will be mostly in shady areas or where there's very, very minimal light, will be this kind of things. And I believe you will get a copy of this PowerPoint at a later time, and it will help us. So you have a little bit of an idea. Usually the plants have, when you buy them, they will have like a little tag that it tells you specifically what kind of light it needs. So I would recommend for you to look into that. That will be really helpful. So you know where to place it in the house. Then fertilizers. This picture was in one of the social media from the Utah State University, and it tells you a little bit the three main ingredients on a lot of fertilizers. Usually when you look at that, it's the NPK numbers. N is nitrogen, P is phosphorus, and K is potassium. Usually the not nitrogen, I'm sorry, I'm struggling with English this afternoon. It helps make the plant grow healthier, like on the top, like leaves and flowers that will help with that. The phosphorus, which is the P, will help the root growth, and potassium will be generally the health of the plant. Usually when you look at plants, most of the P and the Ks is already in the soil or where you put the plant, and we usually look for nitrogen. But again, you will have to learn a little bit about the plant and what the plant needs, and look into that and see if, yeah, we might need a little bit more of this, but usually the main number that you want to look is into the N. You also want to make sure that to understand the difference between fertilizers and plant food. So that would be a thing that we need to look into that. And if we have too much fertilizers, we're adding a lot of salt to the plant, and that might hurt the plant. So we have to make sure to do that. 1 second. Just okay, give me a second. I'm so sorry. I apologize about that. I was just having a little bit of issues here at work. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so now we're going to talk about plant containers. Um, and I've listed a little bit the clay pots and plastic or decorative containers. Um, One thing that it's really good about clay pots is they usually, if you put the plant, you usually do not, you cannot overwater the plant. But because of the type of texture or the surface that it is, some of the roots will um, grow into the pot, so you can ruin the root system. So you want to be careful of what the type of plant that you will put in there. The plastic or decorated containers, they usually have better appearance. Um, but again, sometimes they don't have a good drainage unless you make the drainage again in there. And I mean, sometimes they can be wider on the top and smaller in the bottom. So you kind of might have a little bit of problem. So you will have to replant them constantly once the plant grows. And then we have a different growing mixtures. They usually provide really good drainage, and they have a really good capacity to hold water. And just, I know that sometimes we put rocks at the bottom and then the mixture, but that will not increase the drainage of the plant. Um, One thing that we wanted to make sure is that when we do or use this type of growing mixes, that they will shrink. So we probably will have to add a little bit more, or we have to change it because again, it doesn't hold the nutrients that the plant has. Or sometimes you can add also new mediums. If we wanted to grow cacti, um, we need to have a good drainage. Um, Usually the type of material that we have is volcanic ash and sand, pumice or perlite. And we want to make sure that it also has a lot of like space in it because it needs a lot of air to move through the soil. And then with orchids, usually we want to make sure that we have a mixture that has, let's see, that it makes sure that the roots continue to have as much air as possible. And we want to kind of make it so it's kind of like a tropical jungle. And we usually need to have regular watering and fertilization for the plants to grow. And then watering. Um, so one of the main reasons why plants die, it's because we overwater or we underwater. So one um, thing that I will recommend for everyone is to use our fingers. Our fingers, I think it's the best way to kind of measure how wet the soil, the mixture is. Usually if we put our finger in the mixture about an inch or two, and if it's too dry, we definitely want to put a little bit more water. And if it's too wet, we want to make sure that it has a way for the water to move through. Um, Otherwise, yeah, it will create root what is it? Root rot, or yeah, or the root will not have enough nutrients or ways for it to like have the air that it needs. And that's the end of my presentation. I know it was a little bit short, but I don't know if anyone has any questions.
Carla, when you're referring to light on the light slide, does this also refer to artificial light, or is this strictly from the sun?
That was from the sun, actually. If you, I mean, that's the position where you can put it in the house for natural light. If you have artificial light, again, you want to make sure what the plant, what the need is, and how far you want to put the light from the plant, so it's you don't kill the plant or you don't burn the plant because of too much light or too little light.
And just sorry, this is Paige. I'm just kind of adding a little bit on top of what
Carla.
Carla says. It's also, you can kind of observe over time, see if the houseplant is doing well in a certain environment or not. I mean, it's not going to something that you could kill it overnight. If it's something killed like overnight, it's other factors that's causing the plant to die. So I would kind of recommend just you could always experimenting with it and see which one works better in like different size, different kind of lighting settings, as well as like kind of watering schedules, that kind of stuff a little bit. Overall, if you could kind of see, kind of do observation if the edge of the leaf is kind of getting dry or it's kind of turning yellow. It's actually very similar to a lot of plants that we have. Turning yellow is an interesting thing because both overwatering or too little watering will both cause the leaf to turn yellow for a lot of the plants. And so it's kind of just my experience, my personal experience has been I kind of would kind of touch the leaf and see um how like does it feel like dry or is actually kind of feel it's still pretty thick but kind of turning yellow just as a way to try it. But I really like the watering slide on finger touching it. If you want, if you are not sure, you could always buy a moisture meter that they are about like $6 or $7 on Amazon. And I use them just kind of try, to kind of poke it into the soil and see how much watering. I mean, it's a really dry. I mean, it's really dry, like even deep, if it's a bigger pot or not. And I use the same moisture meter to my outdoor plants as well. Like, when should I water my lawn? Is my vegetable garden getting enough water? That kind of stuff. It's multi-purpose. Something might be worth considering if you want to be very sure on the moisture content for the plant. Over. So it looks like we got a few more questions on the chat. One of them is, I should have known this, but what are the best plants for people who have cats?
Ooh. I'm not 100% sure. What I can do is I can check a little bit more for you and then um, send information to Sadie so she can share it over with the team or everyone that was present so they have a little bit of an idea because I am not 100% sure and I don't want to give you information that is incorrect. So I apologize on that one.
Yeah, I don't have a cat, so I never really think about what plant would be good for a cat. I think yeah. So yeah, we could go back to you on this question. I know some cat mints are popular, but I heard cats just went crazy with those cat mints varieties. But we'll definitely come back with this question. There's another question. If the leaf gets crispy and dry, not yellow, but it's getting plenty of water, could it be a light issue?
Um, I guess it depends on where the environment is. Again, we will have to see how the humidity and around the environment. It might be a light issue. Again, it's a lot of experimentation that we need to look into that and see what kind of plant it is. We also want to make sure that we understand, yeah, if it is like I was telling you regarding the photosynthesis and respiration, if yeah, the plant is dying, probably not getting enough light. But we had to look if there is any other animals or if the soil is too wet or is too dry. I mean, we need to look into that.
Yeah, the other possibility, like what I said, it, sometimes when the leaf is getting dry, is possibly could be an overwater issue, even though it sounds kind of the opposite of what you're expecting. So the way the plant gets kind of the water is it has to do kind of photosynthesis and have a siphon effect to soak the water from the leaves and kind of evaporate out through the leaves. And so if you don't have that good siphon mechanism there, that it was actually, even though it's a lot of water around the roots, it's actually not getting the water through the plant. And so if you are sure you have a lot of waters already, maybe reduce the water a little bit and see if it's getting better or worse over there. And definitely with the lighting, that will help with that siphon effect as well. Over.
And I mean, and I will look also in the environment too. I mean, are we having any insects going on? Um, do we need to
True.
fertilize the plant? I mean, there is a lot of different factors. If you have other questions, I would recommend for you to contact our help desk at the Utah State University Salt Lake County extension, and they might be able to give you more information or gather more information regarding that particular plan. So maybe trying to look at the different factors. Let's
Okay,
see.
so kind of like, yeah, actually, I'd really like this recommendation because it's kind of hard to guess, first of all, what kind of plane it is, and then what's the environment, as well, what's really looking like. Because, so it's actually the help desk. If you could take some good picture and send it through the email, I think they could give you a lot more advices over there as well. Yeah, it was something that kind of helps us to know more about what the potential other factors there.
Yes, and I feel like with the help desk, we have a lot of great volunteers that have information and they can help you, guide you, okay, trying to experiment and trying to understand like the different factors. Um, that definitely do that. Can do that. I mean, we have to learn a little bit more about the plan and what the plan is doing. It can be that it might be also that it's under the AC vent, or there might be something going on. So having a picture or sending a picture of where the plan is located and what's around the plan can also give us a little bit more idea of what is going on.
Okay, so we got another question. I'm gonna switch over a little bit and come back to your question, Nessa. So one more question is, do you know if orchid flower grow back? Might wither and die, and I'm not sure if I underwater, overwater, or did something with light.
What orchids are very um, interesting flowers, I will say, because sometimes pH might also affect how the plant grows. Let's see. I guess let's see.
So I
They
will
they
echo a
can.
little bit on this because I recently have an orchid flower. So
Mhm,
in general, they grow back under the right condition. And so
mhm,
the flower in general lasts for a while. And for most of I mean, orchid has a huge variety. So we go back to
mhm.
what kind of orchid do you have? Because some of them do require an orchid special actually, I think most land require special orchid mixture for it. And the watering schedule varies a lot depending on what particular kind of orchid you have. If it's the one kind of generally from the kind of supermarket, those are big ones that they usually kind of don't need a lot of water. You kind of water it once every 2 weeks. You kind of want to soak it well and then kind of drain the excess water out. And then you kind of need to fertilize it about once every month. Those kind of general guidelines there. So if you continue doing that, even though it looks like it die and dry, some of the flower will come back because I have some experience with that, and as well as my friends. Like, it looks like just died, or like there's no flower there anymore, just with the leaf there. But we'll just continue to take care of that. It will take a while, but it will come back. Is my experience on the flowers there. But again, it's a particular one that I have experience with, and um, I will, if you know what particular orchid of flowers that you have, um, you probably like check some extension websites on how to do that. I also believe there might be an orchid society here in Utah because I know Red Butte Garden usually have an orchid annual shows there, and that's another opportunity to have a lot of questions. I mean, ask questions on that.
And I will also look at the root too. I mean, see if the root is too dry or if the root is like too like I don't know how you say it, smushy. Because again, a lot of the problems that we see in plants can also be seen by looking at the root. And with orchids, you're usually able to see the root. So look into that. And again, you're more than welcome to go back to or send a picture to our help desk, and they will be happy to assist you through the process and kind of understand a little bit more or look at the plant for different things. Let's see.
And we actually have a good comment for the orchids. After the orchid flower died, the plant goes to dormant for several months to rest. After that, you could get it back rebloom, but it will need some help in terms of temperature and fertilizers there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a question come to me. It says, what are 3 to 4 hardy houseplants that you can have, some without flowers? I guess which ones are the hardest to kill?
Uh,
Cacti
I kind of
also
feel
expected.
succulents are pretty good in general.
Yes.
Um, the other one, let me,
I'm kind of thinking too. Uh, I guess it. Hmm.
and I have any other ones called spider something. Let me look it up really quick.
Spider plant. Yeah. Pothos. I don't know if I'm saying that. Pothos all the way. Yeah. I mean, they also have. It depends on again on the type of plant or what species it is, but most of the time it is snake plant. Like I said, cacti or succulents are really good ones.
Yeah.
Uh, to
Yeah, so sorry, the one I'm referring is the spider
oh,
plant. Yeah, it's pretty easy and it's very easy to uh,
to
grow the
care.
little ones too.
Yes. Any other questions you
And
might
then we
have?
also have some comments for the hardy house plants are pothos and then snake plants in the chat.
Yeah. I mean, what have been some of your tips, or I mean, those that know a little bit more about plants? What would you say the tips for those that are studying? Like, do you have anything that has worked for you, or anything that you would like to share with anyone that I might not be able to or haven't shared?
Something I learned that kind of stood out, which was cool to realize, was we think of overwatering as watering too much at once or letting the plants sit in water. But I learned that overwatering is the frequency you water. So if you water every single day versus once a month when you're supposed to, that can also kill a plant.
Yes. Well, thank you for sharing that, Ashley.
What's the best way to deal with flies or fungus gnats that your plant may attract?
So I don't know about the best way, but I'm kind of but I heard a few ways you could do that. One of them is kind of like there are some mixes you could make with the household ingredients that will kind of like trap the flies. And you kind of need to do it with kind of like you have you have the mixed liquid on the bottom with kind of like um what's that called? The water bottle. You cut the bottom off, and you have a reverse. So kind of the house plant. Sorry, the flies it goes in. It's harder for them to get out. Those works pretty well as one way as like attract the flies. other ones that is you could I will say number one is started from prevention. If I will avoid using the soils that you dig from your own garden because those are usually with a lot of creatures in it. Um, that I personally tend, especially when I'm starting from plants, try to like use I just buy the seed starters or uh, the what's that called? The potting soils to avoid some of the past issues. As like I started with prevention as much as I can to start with, and then if you have the problems, they are I think there are some pesticides that you could um, buy from that you could kind of spray on the soil and keep it under control, but you kind of have to do it on a regular basis. Is what I remember. Other ones, it's like trapping is another way to handle it. Those are kind of the common ones I could think about. And it looks like Carla, you pull out some pest stuff from
Yes,
the
so
IPMs.
I mean, with the extension, they also have a lot of different resources. And when you were talking about gnat infestation, and they're saying they're coming from my potted plants, what do I do? What they're saying is that you always want to quarantine the new indoor plants in a separate room. We always want to let the potting media dry slightly between waterings and never allow water to stand in pot saucers. And let's see, they also said to report in a sterile mix and treat with this particular, um, I don't know, how is it, ingredient, uh, I know chemical. They also tells you a little bit about how, I mean, uh, let's see what else can be and like how the nut will not survive if the soil dries between watering. Um, we also want to make sure the watering plan, we want to make sure that we don't have too much organic matter because it holds the water too long. So it gives you a little bit. And again, the pest controls or the chemical controls to target that will be mostly trying to target the larva. And it can be applied to the soil. And I mean, it gives you a little bit of an idea of this. So you're always more than welcome to go also to the diagnostic lab or the Utah Pest Diagnostic Lab. And yeah, they give you resources there too.
That's right. And we have some Cindy share on the adding apple cider vinegar in a separate container, and she and cover it with plastic wrap and poke little holes into it, and they will get attracted to the vinegar. It's moderately effective, especially if you add a drop of dish soap to the vinegar. And other ones from Ashley to share to control the pest issue is adding a cinnamon to the top of the soil helps.
And I'm putting in the chat, let's see. I'm putting in the chat. You're more than welcome to contact our garden help desk. This is the phone number. And also if you're interested in like learning a little bit more about house plants or different other plants, you can take courses with the with USU. There's also resources about the garden yard resources where it gives you information about different pests and what to look for if you're doing outside or inside. They also have information regarding that in these two resources. Um, any other questions or concerns that you guys have?
Or does anyone want to share what I have success for the house plant and what kind of plant it is?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, please.
Yes.
I'll share something fun. So about that extension place, I haven't been there for plants before, but several years ago, I noticed that a tree in front of my house on the park strip was getting all of these little weird holes in it, and I started observing it more as I started noticing that, and I eventually noticed that there were these little bee-like creatures that were doing something weird. They had this long stick-like thing that came off of their backside, and they would ram it into the tree, and then it was like they would stick their butt up against the tree and like back up into those holes. So they were making the holes with those little wood stick-like things. And I thought it was the weirdest thing ever. And I was also concerned that maybe this was like some kind of invasive species because I have never seen it before. So I collected one of those little creatures and I took it into the extension place at the government center, and they actually knew exactly what it was, and they explained it all to me and what was happening to the tree. And I actually see a whole bunch of trees like that now. Here at the South Main Clinic where I am stationed, I've noticed that our trees in the parking lot are really holy right now, and that's concerning because it causes those bee-like things what they're doing when they back up into the tree like that is laying eggs. So they're hollowing out part of the tree to lay their eggs in there, and that's why the hole remains, right? Because they hollowed it out. But eventually they're hollowing out like much of the inside of the tree and we don't see it, so those trees are at risk of falling and stuff. So I learned a lot going to that place, and I was able to get that tree taken care of so it did not fall.
Oh, it's great. Great story to share. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I mean, it gives us the opportunity, and you can see that just because you have like even a simple question regarding plants or different insects, it's important. It's a free resource that everyone has access in the state of Utah. You can get that information from the extension office, and I think it's a great uh, way for us and a great resource that I feel like not a lot of people know about, especially if you're not a gardener. So definitely, I'll encourage everyone, even the simplest question, you can ask them. As far as what plants are more sensitive to tap water, I will say that it depends on what the water has. We want to kind of make sure that the water it has a lot of different chemicals that we're probably not aware. So we want to make sure that we understand what is in our water, because depending on what's in the water, that will make a huge difference on what the how the plant reacts. I know Cindy says that bamboo plants are sensitive to tap water and they prefer distilled water. Um, Again, for this one, I will have to do a little bit more research to let you know, guys, yeah, what other plants are sensitive, or there is a particular chemical that specific plants do not
Yeah.
need, and that's why they react differently with the tap water.
So I kind of need to look at this up myself. Like why tap water is different than others, and it looks like our tap water is like kind of human drinkable, and so what's so harmful about it is actually some of the places they will fluoride the water or the chlorine to like kind of as a sanitation at a water treatment center. And so those are kind of the common chemicals that's kind of like unique, not part of the nature, and that might be cause of some houseplant to struggle. In general, those kind of like would be kind of like emitted into the it's kind of similar like if you have a fish tank and you don't want to just put a tap water into the fish tank because you want to make sure the pH is and the water content are kind of like similar to what a fish needs rather than just the tap water. And so some of so that's kind of probably what the plant is sensitive to is those additional additions that into our tap water to keep it sanitized and treat it properly there. So I agree with Carla. I do not know because none of my house plant is sensitive to this, so I couldn't really share much information. But we could look it up with extension and see if there's any particular ones that's sensitive to the house plant. I would imagine most of the house plant we could get in Utah, especially from the nurseries, or your friends, they are usually fine in general because they have successfully grown it with tap water locally. It probably is going to be some more special plants, will be my guess. And the other thing, kind of a way to work around the problem is you could always kind of just have a bucket of water, let it sit for like a day or two, and then use those water to water. That will the chlorine and the fluorine content will be reduced significantly in general that way. And we actually have Cindy answering bamboo plants are sensitive to tap water. They prefer distilled water. Thank you, Cindy, for help us answering it. Other questions we have for houseplant?
Or anything else that we can help you, yeah, answer regarding houseplants or any other situation that you might have experienced.
Or anyone, I think we talk about succulent in general seem to be pretty easy as a houseplant. Does anyone have want to share what their a success story with succulent? So I will share with one, I guess. The succulents or the cactus. I learned that, especially with barrel cactus, don't water too much. I think that's probably the most common mistake is watering a lot, and then that causes the roots to rot. My first barrel cactus that I have as houseplant was a healthy, decent, like I don't know, I think about half human head size big, and so it's a aging ones already, and it's kind of funny because when I first had it, I actually kind of forgot about it. I got it when I was little, and I kind of water once a month. It was fine, and since it was surviving really well, I thought, oh, one going suddenly, I think during the summer break, I thought, oh, I need to water it, not water it more, but just kind of thinking, I pay more attention to my barrel cactus, and I water it more and not dying because the root rotted, and so definitely like that watering schedule could be very tricky for cactus, but I definitely have more success when I'm ignoring it than I'm trying to intentionally taking care of it. Other things in terms of observation, I have a few other succulents that, I actually kind of learn more on they are touching the soil to see if they need it. The other thing I feel important is just observation on how much they change. You could kind of like feel if they were dry, it just because the succulent leaf just wouldn't be. Um, if you kind of push them a little bit, they are usually you could kind of like determine whether it's kind of dry or not, depending on like do they bounce back or not on some of them. Um, that then you could kind of just see watering and see if they becomes like feels like a few days later feels you kind of touch it in again to see if it feels like better or worse as a way. They usually is very drought tolerant because they have like stored the waters in the plant, and so as long as I wouldn't recommend to kind of soaking the whole thing in the water, but just kind of make sure there's enough drainage out of the soil or the pot you use. They usually will do pretty well. And I have I, my little like $2 ones about like 2 inch wide, and they are like growing into multiple plants right now, and like huge pots. I don't know what to do with them. I kind of think they are cuter when they are littler, and they are in general, they are very easy to grow into new ones as well. But for those thick ones, you could kind of just kind of have the leaf kind of like cut off and then have some loose simulators. I mean, depending on the plant, of course, but they are kind of with a little bit loose simulator. I stick it in the water, have grows the roots first, and then transplant into potting soils. Usually works pretty well that way as well. At least the particular ones I have that have been, I could grow it into different pots that way and give away as a friend. Give away as gift to friends that way. Yeah.
And if I mean, Ashley says that she used the Planta app, which is free, and you can get notification for each plant and when to water. And if the spot they are isn't good enough lighting, and it seems that it's been super helpful for her to keep her plants alive. So thank you, Ashley. I think I might be using that one too, because even though I have the knowledge, I guess it's always an error and trial to do to keep our plants alive. So if we have the more resources we have, the better. Um,
Absolutely.
so I think that will be it. I know we are a few minutes short, but I don't know if there's anything else um, that you guys would like to do, but or to say, but I don't know. Sadie, what do you think?
Oh, I'm just so appreciative of you sharing that and answering everybody's questions. We had such a diversity of questions, so thank you very much. Um, I think what I will do, I'm going to post the recording on our YouTube channel, and I wrote down the emails of those who are asking about the cats and plants, and so if we get that answer, I can forward that to them as well.
Yes, perfect. Yeah, then we're gonna do the research and we'll reach back to you as soon as we have the answer.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. We will conclude.